Hey everybody, hope we're doing well. Welcome back to an episode of CSGO News. As always, time markers for every story down below in the description for all of you, but we have a couple big stories involving the Danish scene for all of you. First off, a big story, former Trick eSports player that is JUGi has been signed to Team Heroic in place of Freeze. Now, I told you guys all about JUGi's story a couple weeks back. JUGi was actually benched by Trick eSports following that they actually found out that he had contracted out to Team Heroic, and he was going to be starting the contract and playing for Team Heroic in early 2018. They found out about this and decided to bench him on quote-unquote saying they didn't want to try and develop a player who was not in the right mindset to stick it out with their team. Now, Trick eSports obviously not handling that situation the best way as possible, but Heroic, on the other hand, actually decided yesterday to buy out JUGi's contract with Trick eSports and have him start immediately today. They actually played against LDLC and ESL Pro League, and JUGi did quite well, and he is now on their permanent roster. So congrats to Heroic. They played this out so well. They invested in JUGi. JUGi has to be happy right now because instead of Heroic letting him sit on Trick eSports bench the remainder of 2017 until January of next year, they actually bought out his contract, invested into him, and put it on their permanent roster. He will be replacing Freeze though. Freeze was actually stood in by Cadian a couple weeks ago. Cadian did quite well, but he'll be staying on his team, Team Rogue, and it does seem as of right now JUGi is going to be on Heroic's permanent roster replacing Freeze. We don't know what's going to happen to Freeze, what personal things are going on in his life, but congrats to Heroic for handling the situation so well, and JUGi has to be so happy. A team has decided to actually buy him out, and he will not be sitting on the bench for the remainder of 2017. He'll be playing for a good Danish team, Team Heroic. Now moving on, speaking of Danish CSGO news, if you guys have ever heard about the Danish CSGO Championships, otherwise known as the Copenhagen Games, they happen every year right around April, so this April they'll be happening again. They actually announced a newer rule, or they reinstated this rule that many people are actually arguing about as of right now. For their Copenhagen Games coming up in April, they will not be allowing Overwatch banned CSGO players. Now, I'm not talking about Overwatch, the separate game of CSGO, but if you've been Overwatch banned inside CSGO and you manage to qualify for the tournament, those players cannot play. So this spells trouble for Heroic's current player niko, their star 18-year-old, as well as B0rup from Trick eSports. Again, both Danish teams. Both those players on those Danish teams, I believe, were actually Overwatch banned back in 2015. I could be incorrect about that, but I'm pretty sure niko's ban for Overwatch was actually in 2015. So apparently the rule was instated. Of course, Valve VAC ban players cannot play. They extended upon this, and now Overwatch players, Overwatch banned players can no longer play either. A lot of people kind of in uproar about this, but it does mean that if Heroic or Trick eSports do manage to qualify, which I imagine they might be able to, it is a smaller tournament, about a $35,000 prize pool it should be, they will not be able to play. So yes, they have been Overwatch banned in the past, and it's being brought back up. And we've had several pro players, maybe like Disco Dopeland, have bot accounts or Smurf accounts be Overwatch banned and never really have too many repercussions, but this time around, they will not be able to participate in a $35,000 smaller tournament. So kind of a rare ruling here. Not many big tournaments are doing this kind of thing. And also some really awesome CSGO news in the Starlight Invitational Season 3 qualifiers, so a smaller qualifier out there. We do have Team Big and Team 123 who faced off a couple days ago. Those group qualifiers are going on right now. I want to briefly talk to you guys about these qualifiers, which will end in about a week or so. We currently have Epsilon leading their group, Group A, and we also have a big fight going on in Group B. I'll show you guys on screen right now between Team Big and Team 123 and Team 10 Green, other teams in that group as of right now. Team Big should be able to make it out of this group, but they actually did lose to Team 123, another Danish team. All these stories including Danish teams so far, but Team Big did so well in DreamHack Lightspec. They got second place over there about a month ago to Flipside Tactics, so a German team with a newer roster over there that was looking really, really good. They actually managed to lose in a best of 3 to this unknown Danish team, Team 123, but Team 123, suspiciously enough, were not able to actually record or actually provide their POV demos. Now this gives Team Big the actual right to get the default win and DQ the other team, but they decided not to do this. So it's a great act of sportsmanship. In the past we've seen teams, very, very much so, Team Alternate Attacks actually do this multiple times, where it seems every time they would lose, they would request POV demos to have the, the matter of fact or the ability to actually disqualify the other team. So Team Big showing great sportsmanship here, and they should be able to make it out of the groups with ease, but it's just a great thing to see that these pro players can still accept defeat, accept when they lose, and accept when they need to work on their maps. I believe it was map 3 Cobblestone they lost on, and all the teammates were saying, you know what, good game to Team 123, you guys deserve the win. So it was great sportsmanship there by Team Big. We've seen other teams in the past not have such great sportsmanship, so that was a really cool CSGO news. Not everyone is so scummy out there. Oh, and I guess in some big news, Envyus finally announced that Scream was joining, and Scream finally said that, he was joining Envyus. I know you guys already knew this, but here's a pretty cool video posted by Scream on his Twitter about his entry and final arrival to the Envyus lineup. And for the last two stories on today's episode of CSGO News, I will be including a knife giveaway for something if it actually happens. For IM Katowice, we announced our first ever best of 5 finals of 2017 so far. I believe in the entire year of 2016 for CSGO, we only had one medium-sized event actually go for a best of 5 finals. That was, I think, Kingwin participated. It was tier 2, tier 3 teams. But for the first time ever, we have IM Katowice 2017 in a big tournament here having best of 5 finals, as they announced this just a couple days ago. So if we all thought that Virtus Pro could not get any stronger, can they get any stronger? Pat, can Virtus Pro get any stronger?
Yes?
So with that being said, if Virtus Pro or ASTRALIS actually manage to win the IM Katowice finals, I will be giving away this knife on screen. All you guys have to do to comment down below, either comment down below ASTRALIS or Virtus PLOW. So you guys will all be entered in, and if it actually does happen, you guys hold me to it in this video. I will give that away via Twitter, but you have to comment down below in this video, either Virtus PLOW, or ASTRALIS. But moving on from that, guys, we also in our last story, some smaller news for all of you, and ESL Pro League Week 2 continuing finally after last week's tournaments. We actually have Pimp on Team Liquid. He's still over in Denmark recovering from surgery. It's now been a couple weeks he's been recovering for, so their coach Zeus was filling in for Liquid when they went off in a best of 2 against Energy. They actually managed to lose that first game though in overtime, and apparently as this was actually happening throughout the tournament, we've had issues with Valve servers, so the hashtag fix CSGO is still a problem, and Liquid complaining about this. We had Elise take to Twitter. We also had some other members take to Twitter about this. I think Optic Stanislaw also talked about it, how we've been having many Valve issues on their servers, this including this. Actually, for the ESL Pro League, they had to wait over 35 minutes, and that was why I guess Liquid was kind of complaining because they lost. But still, either way, a big issue here is they waited for 35 minutes. I'll show you guys that video on screen.
Не могу больше на это смотреть.
Слишком жаркие матчи, прям как в финалах, поэтому попробуем подключиться обратно. Возможно, сервер вылетел.
Так, ладно,
Ну
пока
что ж,
заглушечку. Вот.
Пока что 20.
Что, как ты думаешь, хватит ли Energy уже на этот раз, хватит ли Energy на то, чтобы закамбэчить, вот именно по тому, как они играли всю игру, как вот вся игра от этого?
I'm really sorry, the only actual VODs available were in Russian, so I do apologize. But if you guys are Russian viewers, there you go, my first ever Russian content. Hope you guys all enjoyed this small episode of CSGO News. We have some great stories coming for all of you very soon, as well as some great videos this week, and I cannot wait to release them. So, as always, hope you're all doing well. Remember, I like you. Live, love, laugh a lot. I will see you guys all tomorrow. As always,